Wonderful. Recording is started. We have our coaches here. We have our runners here. We have pretty much everybody from all different directions. We have 53 runners under me. And we have another, I think, another 10 or 15 under Srivatsan, full marathoners. And so that means this meeting is 60 to 65 runners is this meeting. So Saturday evening, last minute notice, Shravan has joined. Wonderful. All of you welcome. So first thing first, congratulations, guys. Second Meso done and dusted. What a incredible achievement. And I have to tell you, and I don't tell this every season. If you think I'm telling this every season, it is not. I'm telling you, this time I see the energy in Final Search. Some really strong performances and runs across the board. And not a single person from this cohort has been demoted or taken to light. Think about that. Normally, by this time, one or two folks I would have demoted to because of either life happens or they're not committed enough to, have a pro level sort of coaching. And it's two seasons in, and not a single person has been, requested to go to light version. That just tells you that all of us are in for the long run, and we have a pretty strong cohort. Every time I look at some runs, especially some newcomers, the newcomer runs, I'm like, boy, this is really strong cohort. Like, I look at you, Bobby, fantastic runs you give. A few other, like Bimal is also really, really good. And Gagan, you're not a newcomer, but man, you have blossomed into like a monster here, man, a monster runner just in your second season. And then I'm really, Sudha, your runs, first time full marathoner, first time in runner's high. I'm really proud of what you do. You've been consistent, never let it go. Vineet, first time runner, and you communicate so beautifully with me, and that's important, right? That's the first learning I think all of you should know, which is communicate with me. I'm your coach. I'm supposed to answer your questions. So don't feel shy in, sharing your thoughts, downsides, upsides, in Final Search, in WhatsApp, I am here. So just wanted to make sure that, we are communicative, because as coaches, I'm sure a lot of coaches are here. I can talk for them. We appreciate that, communication. And I'm sorry, I said Bimal, Binesh. Apologies, Binesh. I was talking to you, Binesh. So Binesh Balan. Cool. So that's the first thing. You guys should feel very, 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 very proud of yourself. Okay. So that's point number one. The second thing is I also wanted to take this opportunity to share a few things first in terms of what are we looking at going forward for this cohort. And then I also want to call upon few people and do a mini podcast. When I say mini podcast, I'm talking about like 2-3 minute podcast with those people, just to bring the flavor of those folks to everybody. It's a new series I'm trying to start in my meetings, because otherwise we just have pay name and that's pretty much it. But I know you guys a lot more than others. So I want to bring that flavor out. So I'll have a rapid round questions that I prepared, and you just have to answer in one sentence. But in that way, you'll be able to that's why I haven't given you a heads up. It's like what you think, just talk. And it's our one family here. In that way, others can know a little bit about you. Okay. So that's something we'll do. And then we'll open up to a round of questions. We have a good 5 or 6 questions that has already come up. We can also take on live questions. And hopefully all of this will end in 45-50 minutes. Okay. Cool. So let's start with a few things that I wanted to share with you first. All of you finished Meso 2. Most of you are in full marathon, and remaining many of you are on half marathon advanced speed program. So that means, and there is one 10K speed I had, and unfortunately she had an injury. Otherwise she was crushing it. So basically all folks we have right now are half marathon speed program, and one half marathon regular, and then all full marathon in different categories. Within full marathon, we have a full marathon beginner category. We have a full marathon experienced category, and then a brand new cohort that we have created, which is sort of creating monsters, what I call it, full marathon speed program. Full marathon speed is a crushing program. where you don't get any rest from, like when I give them a CP run, they feel, oh, today is a rest day. When they see a CP, they see it as a rest day. That means they see CP as truly a resting heart rate kind of a run, which is the way everybody should be. And I'm actually excited about the full marathon speed because this is something that long time I wanted to do it, but we haven't as an organization came to that level. But now we have runners in that category. And I hope they are enjoying the assault, the full marathon speed assault. So those are the categories of runners we have. And April 29th is our race day. Okay, so those of you who are still thinking about which race to run, of course, go for other live races. But if you haven't decided on any, I would warmly welcome you to join our runners race. While it might not be a New York City marathon kind of extravaganza, but I guarantee you we have our own extravaganza. It's our family run. Pretty much everybody knows everybody. And it's a very different type of past runs feedback. If I have to tell you, everyone loves it because it's 250, 300 runners run. And we have rest areas manned by runners. Everybody knows everybody. There's a lot of, social fun and partying. And then we have post-race, we have lunch served, medals distributed. So it's our own thing. It's our own sort of joint sessions. And especially we enjoy folks coming out of New Jersey to New Jersey so that we host them. And all of the guests who have come here have told us that they feel so welcome. As they say, our houses are small, but our hearts are big to welcome all of you. So that's how it is. So consider us 29th. We will give you special support, especially full marathoners. We'll have different types of support that we'll all provide. Okay. Of course, you can also run other races. Most welcome. The ideal time to do a full marathon, especially, is around, if you ask me how to finish your season and then do. That's the ideal. If I have to ask you, that's the ideal time. So if season finishes April 29th, so ideally April 29th and beyond, maybe 1 week here and there, before or after, would be an ideal time. But I know that folks are running in different races. So if you have a race around the 15th of April, if you have not planned, see, I'm telling this to you for folks who have not yet planned, because there are folks who have already planned Paris and Tokyo and all. They have been running and training much longer than what you are, because they planned for it. But those of you who are doing it for the first time or early days and not yet planned your race, see if you can find a race between the April 15th to May 15th time zone. I think in that is ideal, because what happens from now to then is we enter Meso 3. Meso 3, if you have heard my weekend messages, the train is now picking speed, going towards San Francisco from New York. Our metaphorical train is picking up speed, longer distances, and different types of strength runs will be introduced. So Meso 3 will be, I would call it, if you think about Meso 2, our total mileage is X. Meso 3 total mileage will be maybe 25% more, 1.25X. That's the Meso 3 for the next 3 weeks. That's what you should expect. After that, we have 1 week of rest week. Nothing happens. No, not even strength training. And it's just relax, chill, tender loving care to your body and mind, and just relax for 1 week, and then enter the final Meso, which we call it as the peak Meso, where the runs and mileage is the highest. You finish the peak Meso of 3-4 weeks, and then you have 1 or 2 weeks of taper. That means you come down, and then it's the race. So that's what you're expecting. So you've arrived sort of intermediate base camp in a mountain. You will get to the advanced base camp, get to the summit, come down a little bit, and then go back to the summit, which is the race day. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. So as you're thinking about that, what are some of the things you need to change right now? First is, as the next Meso is considered an injury Meso. Because what happens is, as you're training relentlessly, like what you have done till now, the quotient of body's, injuries is accumulating, like, various muscles and various cells are getting torn, hasn't had the time to recover. So it's slowly accumulating. The injury quotient is accumulating. Even though it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't prevent you from running, it is slowly accumulating. Because it is slowly accumulating, when you suddenly go to 1.25x next meso, for some folks, it sort of gives way and injury comes up. So next meso is an injury meso, typically. Peak meso is after the rest week, so typically it's okay. But next meso, most injuries happen because now you're getting into what? Almost 10, 12 weeks, like 2 weeks of warm-up, 6 weeks already there, another 3 weeks the next meso. So 9, 11 weeks of consistent and continuously increasing sort of training, right? So you need to be aware of that. First is knowledge. So it is going to come. So what can you do now to make sure that you don't get injured? So I would tell you 2 or 3 things now. One, injury happens because there is no sufficient rest or recovery time between runs. That's the first thing. So think about your runs now. There is a reason why we have Saturday as the long run, Sunday and Monday is sort of no run, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are runs, and even within Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you will see it goes up and comes down like that. And then there is a Friday off and then Saturday long run, right? That's the structure. Now, if you screw around the structure, you do the long run on a Sunday and then Tuesday runs you try to do on a Monday and those kind of things you do. Essentially, what is happening is you are not allowing the body to recover from a long run. So as you're accumulating the stress that I was telling you, combine that with these kind of additional load on the body, things give way. Okay, so my first suggestion is try to stick to the cadence of the program. There is a method to that. So try to stick to the cadence of the program. That's first one to avoid injury, tactically. The second one is, there is this some math somewhere that for every 30 seconds increase in pace, okay, for every 30 seconds increase in pace, that means you're running at 10:30 and you suddenly ran at 10. That 30 seconds increase in pace, I'm talking about splits, 30-second increase in pace, the load, impact loading on your joints and muscles increases by 20%. Think of it as a simple sort of math. Keep that as a math. So what that means is you running fast when you don't have to run fast is not only kind of pointless, but it could actually be a little bit negative for you in meso 3, especially after the accumulation of stresses that are happening, right? So when you think about back to the CP, when I'm telling you guys, you're running not in CP, you're running in a little bit of anaerobic zone, what you're really doing is you're running faster and you're actually loading more than what you need to load your muscles, okay? That is why make sure that you always try to run slower on days when you are not expected to run faster, slower. So that you just keep going at a slow pace in a very cool aerobic zone, you're resting at the same time you're running, your body is developing, and strides time you can do in a controlled manner. So strides is a very controlled speed up, right? So you do that at that time. So that's the second point I wanted to tell you on the injury prevention side of things. The last point on injury prevention is when you are running, you make sure that you listen to the body. Okay, that means as you're running in third meso, especially if you're running these long runs, now the longer runs will be longer. You're truly getting into the long distance range, right? What we call it as mile 10 to 20 in long runs is the long distance range. How I define long distance range is you don't just come and do those runs. You got to prepare mentally and physically and logistically. You need to prepare for these long distance range runs. You don't just come and, suddenly you've had 3 hours time and let's go and run a long run. Those days are over. Now you're in meso 3, especially the full marathoners. You're going to go to 15 milers, like as the discussion happened, you're going to do 15 milers, 17 milers. So what that means is you have to prepare yourself properly before you enter the long distance range. So back to the injury prevention, because you're in the long distance range, you need to prepare properly. And when you are running, you listen to your body. Okay. That means what happens is, let's say you're in mile 3 when you're running and you are beginning to feel some pain on, ankle. Okay. Listening means you're focused on that. Just see if the pain, the way my coach used to say how to manage pain. is that if the pain is on a scale of 1 to 10, if the pain is less than 5, okay, it could be a pain because of running. So it's okay. Muscles are getting loaded and it's okay. But if the pain stays there as you're running or comes down, it happens, right? When you do the first 2-3 miles, some muscles will pain, and then once you settle down, the pain will go away. Typically happens. Then you're all good shape, everything is green, no problem. If the pain starts off at 4 and it slowly increases to 5, 6, 7, at 7, you got to stop it. That means something is giving way and it is getting more and more aggravated. That's what it means. Okay, so you need to know when to stop it. That's what listening to the body means. Likewise, when you start the run and suddenly you have a shooting pain of 8 or a 9, you got to stop immediately. You got to know what is happening there. You cannot continue to run and assume that 8 or 9 will come down to 3 or 4. Okay, you got to figure out what is happening. So that's the pain management and listening to the body that I would like all of you to sort of follow, just so that you prevent any injuries that are happening. So in summary on injury, this is what I would like to tell you. Point number 1, ensure that there is sufficient gap between long run days and other run days so that recovery happens. The accumulation of stress is sort of, brought back to a normalcy. That's the first point. Point number 2, recognize that every 30-second increase in pace, there is a 20% increase in stress, impact loading on your joints. So don't run fast when you don't have to run fast. Be smart about this. There's no point in you running full speed on a CP run. Whom are you impressing? You're not impressing me for sure. Maybe somebody in Strava is impressed, but who cares? After a couple of days you get injured, then you can't run only, right? So that's the game you're playing. And item number 3, since you're all getting into the long distance range, you got to listen to your body. And pain management is what I mean by listen to the body. When it is at below 5 and stabilizing or coming down, you are in good shape. When it is below 5 starting and actually increasing as you run, something is giving way. So come to about 7, pain point number 7, you got to stop. You got to see what is happening. Similarly, if there is a shooting pain, whichever point, whenever in the run, you got to immediately sort of stop it and figure out and listen to the body so that you don't go crazy. So that is the injury I wanted to talk about. And then finally, nutrition. Time to talk nutrition. Now that you're into Meso 3 in this long distance range runs. I'm making it very simple for all of you guys. There is a lot of material for nutrition, but we have a time-tested methodology in RHWB where the nutrition is quite simple for long distance range. First one is it is bad to not have anything and go for a long run. Let's start with that. That's the first message. Some people think running in long run is the way to reduce fat. Go empty, completely empty stomach and just run 20 miles, and in that way, like 2-3 pounds of body weight goes off. Maybe true, but that's it. That's the last couple of long runs you will ever do in your life because it will be so frustrating for you to finish that run. Okay, so you got to be smart here. So what is that? You got to have some energy source because it's physics, guys. It's physics. Whatever body glycogen that you have, which is the immediate source of fuel that you have in your body, it can only sustain for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. That's it. It cannot sustain more than that. Unless you're able to finish an 18-miler in 1.5 hours. Be my guest. If you can do that, don't have to eat anything. But if you can't finish an 18-miler and 17-miler in 1.5 hours or 2 hours, then it's prudent that you listen to what I'm just now telling you, which is you got to think about pre-long run nutrition and during long run nutrition. Pre and during. Post is next story. Pre-long run nutrition is simple. 30 minutes before the race, before the long run, have something. Whether that something could be carb, something could be like whichever is best suited for you. Cornflakes, banana, bagel, bread butter jam, whichever makes sense. Dosa, I've had a proper meal also. I've gone to an extent where I one day wanted to say, like, what if I had a proper South Indian meal? Full, like stomach is full. 20-mile run. I wanted to challenge that thought, like, who said that I can't run with full stomach? So I said, okay, let's do that. Full. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I had so much food. I waited for half an hour and then went for a run. Initial 1 or 2 miles was difficult. After that, it was such a pleasure. No bonking, nothing. You know, of course, it's not a half marathon or full marathon. I can always go, if I want to go to the rest area, I can just go finish whatever I had to do and then continue to run. It was awesome because what I'm telling you is there was so much energy source available that I was able to do that. I'm not recommending you to do that, but I'm saying try different things. Half an hour before the race, before the long run, eat. Point number 1. Point number 2, during the run, it's very simple. Time for you to start having gels because you all should have it during the actual race. Recommendation is this: every 3 miles, have 1 gel. Okay. So if it is a 15-mile run, have 3, 6, 9. That's enough because the last 6 miles, you don't have to take a gel during the training phase. If it's 18 miles, then do 3, 6, 9, 12, stop. Likewise for 20 mile gel. Now gels can be, we can discuss it on WhatsApp. There are different types of gels available. I think Sapna said that too. Some people focus on honey stringer gels, which is, I think, honey based, and folks who don't want to have sugar, I think that works well. Lots of our runners, they really enjoy that. Then there is the synthetic gels, which is the GU. If you haven't heard of that, it's available in any sports shop. Fantastic. It's like, I think each sachet is 100 calories and it takes about 15 minutes or so to get into your bloodstream. So 15, 20 minutes. So you can just have strawberry, chocolate, different flavors are there. That gives you instant good energy. Okay, meant for runners. These are meant for runners and mountaineers. GU is developed for full marathoners, mountaineers, by the way. So that's available. I had it multiple times. I have it. Then the third one is for folks who are like, very vegan and that type of folks. There is also a wonderful energy made of just fruits and chia seeds and such. What is the name? Somebody remind me, I've forgotten. What is the name of that?
Huma or something.
Huma.
Huma.
H-U-M-A. Yeah, Suja has written that. Fantastic gels. I've had that too. It's available in Amazon, like a full 24 box with all kinds of fruity flavors. It's very tasty and it does its job. Pure vegan. So you don't have to worry about any artificial and all that stuff. So I think Shankar had said SIS gel. What is that, buddy, Shankar? So I don't know what he was talking about.
It's science and sport.
Science and sport. Okay, that's right. That's another gel. Very people use it. Fantastic. So by the way, maybe Indu, you can just put all these links in the WhatsApp group so that people can just click on Amazon and figure it out, buy that if they want. Lovely gels. Really, it makes a difference, guys. Like today I ran with my daughter, Disha, and I had the gels, 8 miles. I gave her correct, and the gel chews are also there, small chocolate, like a rectangular piece. Kids love it. It's like a chocolate. So I gave her 1 or 2 miles, and a GU and a 5 miles. She did 8 miles as if nothing happened. She was able to do it. I mean, she's like very lean and all that. So she needs that extra sort of during the race run. Otherwise, she would have bonked. So I really think be smart. Definitely have those gels. Okay. Water, again, very important. Nutrition and water is important. The other one I want to talk about is salt tablets, which I will not talk about now because I'm going to dedicate a small weekend message for that. But the goal here is it's time for you to think about replenishing salt. It's a big learning for me personally as well last season, where you lose a lot more salt than what you can consume through gels and Gatorade. So you need a salt tablet, and having salt tablet is your path to preventing cramps in long distance range runs. Okay, that's the basic thing. So you need to start having salt tablets. Dr. Shalini, who is also a coach, she was telling me you can have up to 5 salt tablets in a full marathon. Okay, so that's a doctor sort of message. So we should start off with 1 or 2 during long runs. And like Coach Shankar was saying, it's also a great time to try out different gels to make sure that your body is able to take it. Okay, it's important you try out all of that and get, like, for me, I am like stuck with GU or I'm stuck with the vegan gel. My stomach has no issues. Likewise, you need to try different ones and just focus on one that works for you and just stick with that. Don't change anything. And that's what you will do during race day as well. Okay. So that's the nutrition, guys. And post-run nutrition is for your recovery. Very, very, very important. 45 minutes after post-run is when muscles are getting reformed. All the broken muscles are getting reformed. So you need to make sure you have a nice, wonderful protein drink. Some suggest strawberry banana sort of, milkshake with a protein spoon supplement. That tastes incredible. And it's also, you'll feel great. You'll not go and eat some huge carb meal just to, get over the hunger of the long run. This itself will take care of it and your muscles will thank you for it. Okay. So that's the nutrition. So I hope, I don't want to talk for too long. This is what it is, guys. This is the 3 key messages I wanted to give you. Welcome to Meso 3. Welcome to long distance range runs. Injury and nutrition are 2 pillars that we focus on. Preventing injury is being smart in how you run and what recovery you give between runs. You don't do these basics, you will get injured. Nutrition is about ensuring that your body has the sufficient, easily available, like a RAM memory kind of a thing, easily available energy for powering your runs. Okay. And you do that by before and during. And we have some examples, some gels. We'll also put it in WhatsApp and you do that. So that's the messaging for today. Next step, I want to ask you, how was the water challenge? Let me hear on the chat. What is the high-end thought you have on the water challenge that you guys did for 10 days? Like, what is it that you remember in the water challenge? Share in the chat window if you have done it. How was it? Running to the restroom, I'm assuming, Gagan? Yes, that's what I thought. What else? Were you able to do it for 10 days properly? Numerous Zoom meeting interruptions. I agree. I'm sure in your long run, somebody was forced to go behind the tree as well, as I had given you as a choice. Lost some pounds, first time in a really long time. That's awesome, Reshma. I am so happy to hear that. It is very important, water. Loss of pounds. What else is happening on the water side? Now, I have a critical question to ask after this. That's why I first want to hear what else was happening there. I'm assuming you all did it seriously, made your runs better, 100%. Did you get disturbed in the night sleep where you had to get up and go for the loo? Anybody? No, which is good, which is good. So, guys, found lots of options to consume water as buttermilk, chia seed. Yep, that's true, Aparna. That's true. So now my question to all of you is, I'm assuming all of you have done this water challenge, okay? How is your body feeling now that there is no forced challenge per se? My question is your body now asking for more water naturally than before? Are you feeling that? Yeah, yeah, I see 2 S's already. Yeah, see a lot of S's. This is what we are shooting for, guys. This is what we are shooting for. Because what has happened is, because we have gotten used to being dehydrated, we have gotten used to being dehydrated, as in our body, initially it is thirsty. How do you drink water? Your body is telling you some signs of being thirsty, right? But because of our day-to-day pressures, lives, and, of mind getting distracted in all corners, we do not actually listen to the body. Like how we are saying, listen to the body. We don't listen to the thirst impulse of the body. So body, it seems, is sort of getting used to lower water levels, and hence the thirst impulse itself is kind of subdued by the body. It only gives you the thirst impulse when it is really dehydrated. Or in other words, we stay dehydrated compared to the optimal level most of the times. So the challenge that I had given you was to just break that cycle, so that now you have a different relationship with your body when it comes to quenching thirst. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys don't allow the relationship to go back to where it was before, staying dehydrated. This is something that a huge aha moment for me when I did this challenge about 6 months ago. And I have been drinking water, oh my goodness. Like pretty much every couple of hours, I feel this intense thirst, and I have to go and down a good half a bottle of an Nalgene bottle, And of course, I go to the loo most of the times. And I'd asked you a very lot of, should I say, less than savory question. How was your pee color? There is a reason I'm asking you that question. The reason is it needs to be lightish yellow. That's very light. That is where you are in a perfect hydration mode. And you do this, as someone suggested, your runs will be fantastic. Okay. Your runs will be fantastic. Your skin will shine. You will lose weight. You will look hot. What else you want? I think that last sentence is enough to continue to, to drink water and make sure you take care of your body, because as you all know, body is 75% or whatever of water. And we got to make sure we cater that much of importance to the water part of it. Okay. Yes, sir. Good stuff. So that's pretty much it. So what I wanted to do next is I want to just call out some folks for a 2-3 minute fast questionnaire, so that I want you all to know who they are. And I have a few people in mind. And if you can unmute your video, that'll be even better. So first I want to call upon is Saujanya. Saujanya, can you hear me?
Hey, Big B.
Hi, can you show your video, or you're not in that great position right now?
No, not in the great self to show my face.
Okay, not a problem. So just for people to imagine, Saujanya looks like a Hollywood star. That's how you guys have to imagine when you're... Okay, questions, fast questions. Which season you are in, Saujanya, with Runner's High?
I think the 8th one.
8th season.
I'm always with RHWB.
Yes, fantastic. And she comes from Edison, New Jersey. She lives very close to my house. Is this your first full marathon?
Yes.
How has been your full marathon in terms of long runs? I think you just completed a major long run, isn't it?
Yep.
How was that?
Fantastic runs. I feel like I'm still learning, and it's great to learn. And I always have whatever questions I have, I shoot it to my coach. You know, the small ones or the major ones, whatever it is. In that way, I feel that I'm in sync with the training.
Yes.
So long runs are going pretty good.
And you have not missed a single run and an activity till now, is that right?
Yep.
What is the one that you really despise the most till now in your full marathon training?
I don't know. Maybe I'll still wait until the last day of the thing and then decide.
You're liking everything. So what is it that you like the most till now?
I like the discipline in myself.
Yeah.
Because I haven't, as you said, I haven't missed any run or the strength. Because I feel if I do it today, then I'll be able to run on the day.
That's amazing. Let's all give it up to Saujanya for a pretty brilliant two mesos. First full marathon, and I think she's on. You've just completed 13 miles. So every long run from now onwards is a PR. That's what you need to be thinking about, Sav. Every step and every long run from now onwards is a PR. Wow, that's pretty powerful.
Thank you. Hope so.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's call upon Vineet. How are you, buddy?
Doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. Let's hear from you. So tell us, where are you from and which season you are?
I live in Livingston, New Jersey, and this is my first season.
Awesome. First season doing full marathon. Have you done full marathon earlier, or this is your first full marathon?
First full marathon.
Oh, wow. Okay. How has your journey been thus far?
Until today, it was great. Today, got seriously disappointed with my 13-mile performance. I think the one big realization is last week for the 11th mile, I ran on treadmill, which seems very different than running outside. Mainly also because of all the gear you have to wear outside, right? That increases your weight by at least 4 pounds, I'm assuming. And so, yeah, I mean, today was a huge struggle. So, but disappointed, not completely discouraged. But yeah,
definitely no disappointment at all. Let us not pull defeat from the defeat from the jaws of victory here. You have done 13 miles. What is there to be disappointed, buddy? Yeah, and first of all, this training, there is nothing called you are expected to face challenges. If you haven't faced any challenge, then I would have put you in a speed marathon already. So you are expected to face challenges and you're expected to go up and down. That's what training is all about. So today you felt disappointed because it didn't meet the requirement of yours, but you still completed 13 miles. That is a huge victory. And next couple of long runs later, you will look at 13 miles and say, 13 I can do anytime. It's the 17 that is difficult. You know what I mean? So the disappointment will continue to be there. Only thing is the disappointment for the level that you are focused on will be much higher. Like for instance, maybe Coach Srivatsan feel disappointed that he didn't qualify for Boston. Man, we can take that disappointment. I can take that anytime. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. It's good to have that disappointment that just brings you back with learnings and all that good stuff. Starting today, you are not running any long runs in treadmill. This is not for just you, for everybody. This is not, you're not doing a full marathon on a treadmill. Unless you have that plan, tell me right now. I'll put you on light. Otherwise, nobody is running marathons on a treadmill. So all of you need to run outside, hot, cold, snowy, winter, it doesn't matter. Look at Sanjay. He's running right now. I'm joining the hi Sanjay, good stuff. Lovely dog, lovely. So that's great, Vineet. I really enjoy the path that you are having. Sanjay, I'm going to mute you just to make sure. That's awesome, Vineet. And let's bring in Bobby. Bobby's another first time into Runner's Eye. He did a beautiful full marathon in, was it where in India, Bobby? I'm trying to remember.
So I did a half in Goa and a full in Mumbai.
Mumbai, correct. And I saw those pictures. Thanks for sharing. It felt very exciting for all of us. I think you did a beautiful 4 hours and odd full marathon, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 hours, 6 minutes.
4 or 6 minutes. So how is it going this far? First season in Runner's Eye?
Yeah, it's been good. I was in India till last week, so was not very strict with the schedule, but I've been on track this week onwards. Wonderful. I mean, I think the best part is it has brought in a lot of discipline into my, my runs and my training program, which I'm so happy about.
Interesting. Very nice. And what race you are planning to run?
I'll probably run the 29th April one. I'm not registered for anything else. I mean, I've been fighting injuries, so kind of a love-hate relationship with injuries for the last 2 years.
Yes.
I say love because it kind of motivates me to work even harder to get rid of them.
Absolutely. I can see that. Cool. Welcome. I'm really, it's good to, have some new faces join us and do some really good runs. Reshma, let's hear from you. I'm seeing you for the first time. Talk to us about your journey thus far in this season. You might be on mute, Reshma.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, hello everyone. So this is my first season with the RHWB and it has been going good so far. I am from Edison, New Jersey as well. Yeah, I mean, my pace is still pretty low, so I am a little worried if I can complete it on time of 6 hours. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hopefully I'll improve. That's where I am.
Wait, 6 hours, don't worry about which race is telling you 6 hours cutoff.
I have enrolled in Newport road race.
And is it a 6 hours cutoff?
Yeah, 6 hours cutoff. And there's a provision to start early. So I'm just based on how I go ahead with this. So I may start early or just stick with the 6 hours.
Okay. Don't worry, we'll talk on the side because just to give you some confidence, my first 3 races timings are like this: 6 hours, 58 minutes, 7 hours, 2 minutes, and 6 hours, 40 minutes. So don't even worry about it. You're already 3x better than me in your first marathon, which is the first marathon. It took me 4 marathons to get to 6 hours. So you are in good shape. Okay. Worst case scenario, our race is always there. You can run 9 hours and still have a lot of people cheering you in our Runner's Eye race. So don't even take that tension. You're doing really well.
Thank
Good
you,
stuff.
Coach.
Last one. Let's see let's get a senior runner. Let's take Coach Watts. Srivatsan, you are doing a full marathon speed program. So why don't you give a quick view of what it is for people?
So basically, I think most of you have done a tempo speed test. This is like doing tempo speed test and more 3 to 4 days a week, at least. So that will be a quick summary of what this program feels like.
That's true. And you guys, so basically, guys, what happens in a full marathon speed is that I get them to go and do long runs on tired legs, because speed of full marathon is decided in mile 21 to 26. You know, how you do mile 21 to 26 is what determines the speed of a full marathon, your final timing. So the goal here in training is get them to exhausted legs and then make them do these simple runs and see how they're able to sustain. So till now, they've been able to sustain well, and they've been doing well. In fact, 4 or 5 of us are in full marathon speed. So we will go with that. Okay, awesome. Srivatsan, thank you. I hope others, you enjoyed this small segment of getting to know a little bit about some runners, and next Meso meeting, we'll have a few more runners talk like that. Thank you, guys. Okay, so some questions. I have about 4 or 5 questions, but if you have any live questions, feel free to chat, and then we can, I'll quickly address that and others can address that as well. So the first question is, I carry Gatorade on my long runs. Should I consume anything additional, gel for nutrition, now that the miles are increasing? I just talked to you about it. Yes, you need to carry gels and have it at 3-6, that type of thing. My pace is still quite low. I wonder if I'll be able to build up a pace where I can completely and more run the hilly course and all that. I think that I just explained. Don't worry about pace. You are in the middle of the season. Your focus is distance. Don't worry about pace at all. All of us are we're in the same bucket, and we can do that. Right now, just focus on the distance. Okay, definitely don't worry about the pace. This is for all of us, not just for the person who has asked that question. Other question was, what should you eat before the long run? I think I addressed it. What should you eat before the long run? So I hope that takes care of it. There is this other runner who says, I'm really getting worried about the incline run, strides, tempo in Meso 3 that I just saw. How can it prevent injuries, and what if I can't keep the weekday runs? So the first thing I told you about preventing injuries, I'd addressed it. Remember, preventing injuries is about thinking not just on that run, it's also about what you do before, the rest time you get, and all that. Don't try to run faster than what you need to. Even in stride runs and tempo runs, listen to your body. If you think there is some discomfort building quite quickly, stop it. Those are the ways you do it. But that said, all these stride runs are just short bursts. So it is designed to make sure that you run within the injury zone before the injury gets really bad. Since you will be doing it for the first time, maybe some of you, you will, mark my words, you'll actually enjoy the stride runs. First time when I started doing stride runs, it was really fun. It was really, really fun. So you should definitely do that. Yes, the water discussion on the side, you're right. You should, see, there is I'll send it in WhatsApp separately. There is a bit of a scientific math calculation also. You can think about how much to drink when you're running. But my suggestion is every mile, take a swig. That is more than enough so that you don't have to drink too much of water. Okay, that just make it simple. Every mile, take a swig. Like 1 gulp of water is good enough. Okay, don't down the entire sort of bottle type of thing. So that's it for that runner. Don't worry about it. If you can't keep up with the weekday runs, okay, if you can't keep up with the weekday runs. So there is one thing I want to tell you guys. So our structure is what? 1 long run, 3 weekday runs. That's the structure, right? So for whatever reason, life happens, some runs you are doing it in a different day. Don't worry about it. You can do it. My suggestion is, on top of every run, there are these 3 small points, like the settings point, like the 3 dots. Click on the dots and you can actually move your run. Let's say there is a Tuesday run, you did it on a Monday. So you click on that run, move the run to Tuesday and merge it with the planned activity. Feel free to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So in that way, like, even if you moved it, you're at least recording it against the run that you're supposed to do. It will also help me later on in sort of doing automatic calculation of how you're doing and all that type of stuff. Okay, so feel free to do that. So if you're missing one weekday run for this runner's question, honestly, it's okay. I won't say that. I'm not going to hold it against you. One weekday run here and there, you missed it. It's okay. But since, keep the train analogy and what I told today in my weekend message. Let's say you have to do a 6-mile tempo and you just don't feel it that day. Just do 6-mile walk or a 6-mile CP. You don't have to do the tempo. Something is better than nothing. If you can't do 6-mile, do 3-mile. Have that attitude. In that way, you'll be able to do something instead of nothing. I would suggest that's what. Missing a long run is a bigger problem than missing a weekday run. Keep that in mind. I would love to make sure that you guys don't miss any long runs going forward. Okay. The next question is, how do I know if I'm getting enough nutrition for this full marathon training and preparation for the race? Very simple. How you will know is if it is a 16-mile run, by a 12-mile run, you feel like going home. You feel like completely you're done. You probably have some bad thoughts about me. And you are like telling what the hell happened? Why did I join this program? This is the worst thing I have ever done in my life. All these thoughts, if it happens, then you know that you are what is called as bonking. Bonking means your body does not have any energy. You're done for the day. So that means that you are, you are like in an energy deficient situation. So that is when you know that nutrition is key. So bonking every step becomes a big pain. Like you cannot put that one step in front of the other. You just want to go home and cry. So those are the kind of typical scenarios that happens when you are in nutrition negative scenario. So make sure you do that. And that would be my quick and easy answer for that. Can you forego quad stretches with a bent knee if you have a knee issues and instead of that use foam rolling? Absolutely, yes, you can. If you have a knee issue and if you have quad stretches that you have to do and find it difficult, foam rolling is fantastic for that. Okay, if you know how to do foam rolling properly, be my guest, definitely. I should totally do that.
Your knee.
Sorry? Somebody asked a question? Okay. So any suggestions if you feel balls of feet going numb and painful during long runs? Oh, that's an interesting one. Any thoughts from others? Like, have anybody experienced the ball of your foot going numb in your long run? Anybody has experienced this?
How good is their shoe? Is the cushioning worn off?
Correct.
Yeah, that question was from me, Suja. So I mean, the shoes are pretty new, and I feel it only on one feet. And the way I've been trying to, get around it is kind of, let that leg loose so that there's some circulation in that feet. So I don't like stomp the feet, instead just let it land lightly. So that's been helping a little bit. That's from my experience today. So that was what I was trying today. So.
Okay. Another thing, if it's the cold, I feel compression socks, like I kind of get that circulation issues and compression socks help me. So maybe it's worth trying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about an insert? Do you have an insert?
No, I don't have an insert, but I've tried an insert. Somehow it's not comfortable for me before on other shoes, but I don't have an insert with this shoe that I'm wearing.
Okay.
Reshma, try a different lace combination. Sometimes you may be tying it too tight. And again, all the other suggestions are correct as well, but you may be tying the shoe too tight.
Yeah. I today's run I loosened it up a bit, but didn't help. But I'll keep a watch on it. Let's see how it goes.
So typically, what is some blood clotting is also happening around that area. That's another starting of the blood, sort of numbness starting. So if the pressure is high, as what Coach Shankar said, there could be that problem. Shoes also, right? I'm like, I'm assuming, did you go and do a proper running shoe? Did you do that? You didn't?
No. I didn't.
Okay, so then let's not even waste our time talking other things. That's your first thing. I don't know why you didn't do it till now. Every runner here is expected to do that, especially your full marathon program. You're not just coming and running in random shoes. Let's forget about everything what others said. Let's go for the brilliant basics first. I don't know why you didn't do it, but you have to do it. Otherwise, you are wasting your time and you're risking all the injuries. Throw the shoe that you have in your right now, throw it off. Don't even think about it, just throw it off. Go to the running shoe store. This is something which was explained very clearly at the beginning of the program for everybody. Okay, if others who are listening, if you are also in the same boat, let me be very, very categorical about this. This is a mistake, a rookie mistake that everybody makes, assuming that my shoe looks nice, so it should be good. My shoe's branding, all that doesn't matter. You go to a running shoe store, not a regular shoe store, running shoe store. Where are you, Reshma? Where are you from?
Edison.
Oh Lord, you are just in my hometown. Go to the the running shoe store in New Brunswick. It is called Road Runners. You get a discount for Runners High. Just tell Runners High, you'll get a discount as well. There are hundreds of us go there and buy shoes. Say that I want a running shoe. They will test you in treadmill, blah, 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 and they will give you a shoe. And you say, I need insoles. Then they will test your shoes, your soles, and they'll suggest whether you need an insole or not. And then wear the insole. Now that you're having a foot problem, wear a running socks as well. That has some additional cushion. The socks gives additional cushion. And then you do all of these things. Okay. Before this, if you don't do this, is the basics. This is the brilliant basics. Without this, you're not even running the tomorrow morning's run or Tuesday's run. Without this, you're not running another one run. Let me tell you. So do this. It'll be magical transformation for you. Okay. And then we'll talk about all other things. And ping me on the site. Once you've done it, please ping me on the site. I want to have a small chat with you on how it is and how you feel and all that stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Finally, hey, hello, coach. Today, for the first time during the long run, I felt my calf muscles really feeling tired after the 10th mile. Would using long compression socks help? 100% it'll help. Compression socks will help. And oh yeah, by the time, and somebody is saying my shoes are 650 miles. And today the 9th mile had some pain, went away. Should the shoe be replaced? 1000%, not 100%, 1000%. 650 miles is crazy town. Crazy town, guys. 500 miles, throw the shoe. That's it. Max 500 miles, or in other words, one season you're out. Remember, guys, this is a critical portion of your running, your shoes. Okay. So you are not screwing around with shoes. Just buy the new shoe, Anand, as I just told you. Okay, just go and buy it. What I just told you, 500 miles is the absolute max you can have a shoe. And then you will see a difference. You'll see a major difference. So coming back to this, for the first time, this long run, calf muscle, this is classic, could also be a salt deficiency that causes this muscle pain starting. It could also be your shoes. For all you know, it could also be your shoes. If you didn't buy a new shoe for this season and you're into full marathon training, you're already crossed the 500 miles because you're putting a lot of miles. Okay, so let's do brilliant basics first. And the compression socks is definitely going to help on giving a better sort of support for your calf muscle area. Okay. Any other questions from live questions? These are all the questions I had. Any other live questions? Okay, so feel free to put in questions, but I just,
Bala,
yes.
sorry, I was talking on mute. I think for some of us who are doing the marathon for the first time, I think we probably should have a separate session from a nutrition perspective. I know we have discussed here, right? But it's very hard to change the nutritional habits just straight away. So it's good to have a in-depth discussion, maybe from someone who is a nutritionist.
Yeah.
That'll really help, especially given the next 3 weeks as well as the peak meso.
Yes, great point, Shankar. I will. I have some discussions with some nutritionists. Maybe I can bring her in for a 1 hour sort of a session. Just answering questions about nutrition and that type of. That's a great idea. Let me work on it. Any other suggestions and thoughts, guys? When I do CP runs on treadmill, I don't change the speed, but my HR gradually increases from 135 and reaches onto 160 and 165. Is that okay? It's normal pattern. Okay, it's a normal pattern for especially newcomers. It's a normal pattern. Not everybody can be a Srivatsan or a Saurabh Pradhan whose heart doesn't even flutter even when they do a tempo run. But so it's normal, Vinith. So you don't have to make the constant speed. If you think it's 160, 160, reduce the speed. It's okay. You know, be try to have I have a heart rate max 150. Anything more than 150, I reduce speed or start walking in between. So you can do that, that combination. Okay. So in summary, guys, some key points. I just want to make sure we discussed a lot of things. First one, shoes. Now that comes that shoe question. Shoes. If you haven't bought a shoe at the start of the season, okay, and if you have been running on shoe that looked great because you had a great discount and all that, and you just bought that and had a good brand, and your legs are paining, let us just assume it is the shoe that is screwing up right now. Let's just make that assumption. Throw the shoe right away, like right after this call, just throw it off. I don't even want that to be inside your house because I know temptation. Just throw it off. Tomorrow is a beautiful Sunday. Go and tell our name and buy the shoe. Brooks, I would suggest Brooks is fantastic for first-time runners. It worked really well with me, but there are so many other wonderful running brand shoes are there. Buy the best shoe you can get. Ask them if insole is required for your foot profile. They will tell you. If they say yes, go and put it. Running socks, normally I don't say, but if you already have a leg pain, buy the running socks. And then go for a run. And then if you feel good, please ping me and thank me. That is the first message for all of you. Message 2, you are in the long distance range and mileage in Meso 3. That means you got to change few things on the ground. And those are, think injury prevention and think nutrition enhancement. Those are the 2 things. Injury prevention comes in the form of 3 bullet points. Sufficient rest and recovery between runs, especially long run and weekday runs. So don't screw around the schedule. Listen to your body. For every 30-second increase in speed, there is a 20% increase in load. So don't run faster than what you need to run. Okay, that's the sort of simple message on injury prevention. Nutrition, some food 30 minutes before, and every 3 miles, gels. Start off and prepare for it. Water, a swig every mile. I think this is a simplest way of a nutrition that I can give you right now. Okay, that's on the nutrition side. Finally, a trivia question for you, Coach Bala. We see you turning younger with every weekly podcast. You look fitter, high enthusiasm and energy every week. Despite your travels, you're able to manage time for everything. Give some life tips. Oh Lord. Gagan, first of all, thank you for your kindness. You made my day. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to Dubai. So I will go with a smiling face on the flight. But I think that in all seriousness, the answer to that is I don't manage it. Like I don't manage my life. Like I don't plan and manage my travel. I just live my life. That's it. I just take it one day at a time and just go with the flow. So when you go with the flow, you enjoy every day. And when you enjoy every day, you probably, just feel good about yourself. I think that's my one life tip that I want to give all of you, which is just enjoy the day that has been given to you. Enjoy the present, as they say, the present that has been given to you. So tomorrow is Dubai. I haven't packed it. I haven't thought about it because it's tomorrow. And when come tomorrow, I will pack and go and enjoy Dubai. That's the plan. And of course, have a wonderful wife next to you who can take off all of these things. Oh man. But hey guys, that's it's been a wild ride with all of you. I'm very proud of you. As I said, really, really proud of all of you. I look at each of your runs and you guys are getting better by the day. Communicate with me. Okay. Communicate with me. I enjoy answering your questions, side comments, good, bad, ugly, it's all good. That's pretty much it. Thank you, guys. Any questions? If you don't have any other questions, let's continue running and let's get fitter, faster, hotter, and fast. And what is that? Farther. All of that will do. And look at Dr. Sanjay. Let's get our enthusiasm from Dr. Sanjay. Even what if he's running? He's still in the call. Awesome, doc. Well done, man. Keep doing it. Which mile you are in, Sanjay?
I finished 13.
15. What did you say? 15?
13. Today is my 13th, so just finishing.
Does he look like a half marathon guy? Awesome, guys. Good stuff. Good night, everybody. And I'll send the recording.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Bala.
See you, everybody.
See you guys.